You're live. That's what it says. And hey, there's one person in here. I'll bet it's me. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Come on in. It's a cold day here in Omaha, Nebraska. Freaking ridiculous. Hey, while y'all are coming in, I'm gonna share this link on Facebook and Twitter and other places. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Willkommen, bienvenue. That means welcome. Come in some language that I'm unaware of. Hey guys, I apologize ahead of time. Hey, how's it going, Bluefoot? I apologize ahead of time if the stream is kind of iffy or if we get some interruptions or anything. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska at a hotel where the Wi-Fi is just atrocious. So, hey Jerome, how's it going, man? Evan, nice to see you, dude. So anyways, if this cuts in and out or anything funky like that, it's because I'm just going off of my phone's internet. So, dude, how's everyone doing, man? It's good to be back for another live stream. I see there's 16 of us in here already. I'll wait a little bit. Des Moines, hey yo, yeah, actually I'm coming to Des Moines. We leave tomorrow. I'm on tour right now. Hey John, how's it going, man? I'm on tour right now with Shim Moore, and we just played Colorado. 2 shows in Colorado. We did Omaha, Nebraska last night, and then tomorrow or the day after, we do Des Moines. So this popped up as I was practicing. Nice. Sorry, Dave. You probably should get back to practicing. I don't know how much you're going to learn here, but welcome, man. Good to have you. I'm trying to see if I can get the, oh, here we go. Yeah, so I'm recording, or I'm streaming from my phone, and then I'm looking at the chat down here on my laptop. I apologize, this live stream doesn't look nearly as cool as my normal ones do. Hey, darling, long time no. That's my wife, Sarah, by the way. Let me see if I miss any of these. Yeah, Des Moines, I'm coming there. John, yeah, got you. This popped up. Friday, not Saturday. Okay, well, you know what? Yeah, apparently I'm going to be in Des Moines on Friday. I don't know. I would say I don't know what I'm doing, but actually I'm the tour manager. So in this particular case, I have to know what I'm doing, and I totally don't. So don't let anybody know. Let's see. I'm in cold and wet Portsmouth. Portsmouth? Mouth? I actually don't know how to pronounce that. Home of the Royal Navy. Love it. Luckily, I caught it right after practice. Nice, Evan. That's awesome. Jamie Lewis support. I love that I have my own support email correcting me when I say things wrong, dropping in the correct links, and awesome. That's good stuff. First of all, guys, I apologize if I talk like a crazy person. I am so sleep deprived that it's not even funny. I think in the past, let's see, I left on Friday and it's Wednesday? Oh my gosh, it is Wednesday. I thought for a second it might be Tuesday. In the past like 5 days, I think I've gotten like literally like maybe 3 full nights of sleep and just like little naps in between here and there on the bus. So if I don't make sense, that's the reason why I'm still working on it. If you guys got any questions, let's just hang out and chill for a little bit. I've got a rehearsal that I need to get to in about an hour, so I'm just gonna chill here with you guys for a little bit and hang with you, answer some questions, do anything you want. Before I get going too far into this, I know this is totally backwards, but I just want to say a very special shout out to GHS Strings for making this live stream happen. I've been using their their bass boomers for a pretty long time, and I tried out their stainless steel strings on this particular run. Normally, I like nickel-coated strings, which the boomers are, and I tried going stainless steel for a couple of nights. It's not my thing, but they sound great for rock music. It's really hard on my fingers. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so go check them out, the ghsstrings.com, and I highly recommend the bass boomers. Those are a great set of sounding strings. Let's see if we got any questions here. John says, hey, could you please do some gospel bass fills? John, I'm assuming you're talking about doing some videos in the future. I'm not much of a gospel chops bassist. It's definitely something I could study and learn and do some videos on. I don't do that kind of music regularly, so I'm probably not the best authority on it. But yeah, I would love to. I would love to study that. To be honest, that's kind of how my channel kind of came about, and how I still find ideas for new content is I just kind of ask myself, like, man, what do I want to learn, or what's something I want to get into? I'll dive into it and I'll study it for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and then I'll start filming videos about it, about what I've learned. And for me at this point in my career, that's how I continue to learn new things, is by sharing them on my channel. So yeah, if you want gospel, I will start doing my homework now. Let's see. Jamie Lewis Support says 26 hours of travel, 1,692 miles by Friday. Yeah, something like that. I don't know, man. It's been insane. Matthew, how's it going, man? Welcome. Evan says, have you tried out the GHS pressure wound? You know what? They sent me a couple of packs of those. I haven't dived into them yet. To be honest, sorry, one second. It's not that I'm skeptical when it comes to different strings that aren't like just straight up steel or nickel. It's not that I'm skeptical. It's just like, I don't know if I have time to invest into playing these strings for a couple hours and then taking them all off, putting a different set on and playing them for a couple hours. And be like, okay, what's the difference? Like, I'd just rather play, So anytime they're like, hey, have you tried these special tape pressure wounded this and that? Let's just like, does it sound good? I'll try it. Yeah, why not? But I have not dived into the pressure wound world yet. But I do have a set or two lying around back at home. So I'll try them out one of these days, and I'll let you know, I promise. Guten Abend. Tom, hey, dude, how's it going, man? Long time no see. Hey, I've actually, do me a favor, send me a message at some point in the next couple of days. Sorry, I know this is being very direct, but I'm gonna be back in Germany again sometime in June. There's an event that Taman, I think I'm saying that right. It's called Taman Gearhead University, TGU. It's really similar to what we did at GitCon, but I'm gonna be in Germany for a week, and I'm thinking about like putting some time on the beginning and the end of that to go and hang around and do some stuff. Maybe come over to your place and film some videos. Sorry, I apologize. I'm talking to Tomek right now, Tom Torillo. This is a guy who made the Jamie Lewis signature bass, that 5-string that you saw me using in the last live stream that I did. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that's Tom. But Tom, yeah, if you got some time, I don't know what city it is off the top of my head. But let's keep in touch, man. I'd love to maybe come out and do some videos with you, showing me, some bass maintenance or some of that kind of stuff. Hey, actually, anyone who's listening, what kinds of things would you guys want to learn in the tech realm of things, like truss rod adjustments, or I don't know. Another question people always have is like when it comes to like flying with your instruments. Oh, do I need to like detune the strings and all that stuff? I don't know. So if you guys got any questions, let me know, and I'll take them to Tom in Germany. Hopefully that can work itself out. Sorry, dude, I didn't mean to put you on the spotlight like that. Let's keep going down here. Evan says Derek Bennett would be a super solid dude to link up with for gospel chops. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll look into it. Sarah says the event is in Treppendorf. So wherever that is, that's where I'm going. And if any of you are from Germany that are currently here, let me know. Let's hang. I'm going to be there soon. I think it's in June. I could be wrong. Pressure wound bronze. Yeah, I never tried that either. Or maybe I haven't. I just don't remember. Matthew says, do you use headphones for practicing? I can't seem to find any that handle bass. There's not a particular brand that I endorse. I want to say Sennheiser HD 320s, 350s, something like that. They've got a pretty good bass response. What you're looking for when you're wearing headphones and trying to get like a good amount of low end is you don't want noise to be leaking out. So you want to put on headphones that cup over your like entire ear, and it gets a really good seal. So anything in that Phil Jones bass has one for about $100. Yeah, sure. That's probably about what it'll cost, about $100. You don't want ones that are just like foam that lay on top of your ear. Again, a lot of sound is going to leak out. So really anything that on cups over the side of your head, that's going to give you really good bass response. And so I think I use, like when I do my podcasts and stuff, I think I'm using, let me just see if this is a model. Is HD 350 a thing? All right, no, not 350s, maybe HD 300s. Yeah, these are the ones that I use. I'm not getting paid to promote these or anything. I'm going to drop this link in there so you can see which ones I like to have. But yeah, I think those have great bass response to them. I don't like to mix in them, but yeah, I will practice in them. Sorry, kind of to come back to the first part of the question was, do I use headphones when I practice? Actually, the answer is no. A lot of times when I practice, and Sarah here can vouch for it, I typically play acoustic, unplugged, like there's no amp in the room. It's just me sitting in front of the TV with my wife on one side and my dog on the other. And I'm just, playing away on scales or arpeggios or something. So actually, yeah, I don't monitor myself really at all when I practice, like that kind of stuff, just technique and drills and stuff. He's usually walking around the house. Yet I'll do that too because, from sitting for so long, my back will start to hurt. So like I'll just stand up and I'll start pacing around like the dining room table or something, try to get in a little bit of cardio at the same time. Not really, but so yeah, I guess you could use headphones. There's nothing wrong with it, but I personally don't, because when I'm practicing, I'm trying to it's kind of like I liken it to, how many times did I just say the word like? That's how much sleep I haven't gotten. I kind of compare it to like if you're on the treadmill. There's usually TV screens all around you at the gym, or you bring your iPad and just throw on Netflix and start running. And after an episode, you're like, oh man, I ran for a half hour or an hour or whatever. So with bass practice, I'll do something very similar. If I'm going to run just like technique drills, arpeggios, scales, and just repetitive things, basically push-ups, music push-ups. I'll just throw on Netflix, sit there for 2 or 3 episodes and get a solid 90 minutes or something of just technique drilling in my fingers. So then I don't want headphones, because I just want to watch TV. Sorry, let me keep going down here. I spent a lot of time on that question. I'm sorry. Tom says, that's about 25 kilometers from the workshop. Dude, that would be awesome, about 20 minutes. Yeah, I'll keep you posted. I'll definitely make sure that we can make something happen. Evan says, I'd love to learn truss rod adjustments and stuff. Weather flips a lot here in Toledo, and it would be nice to do my own adjustments each season. I'm going to answer the next question, but Tom, I don't know if you're down. Do you have any advice for Evan? I know a lot of people are scared to touch the truss rod. They're afraid they're going to snap it in half or do irreparable damage to the bass. I do all of my own setups just because I have too many basses to take them to attack and do that kind of stuff. So yeah, I know a little bit, but I'm not a pro. So Tom, I don't know if you want to weigh in on that question at all. I'll read it. Bass player is anonymous, which is good. Well, I guess I shouldn't say his name because he wants to be anonymous, obviously. It says, tell us about the tours so far. Seen some rad photos. Yeah, we've been having a blast. First of all, it is cold. Come here. I don't know if I can. Does this camera turn around? I don't think so. But I'm a California boy, born and raised. On the playground, I spent most of my days. No, definitely not. Okay, I don't think you can see. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska right now, and it is for real cold. There's snow and everything. When we were in Colorado, I think it got down to 1 or -1 or something that's colder than I've ever been in my entire life. So that's been the craziest thing so far, is just all the snow and loading out in the snow and loading in the snow. We're a team of 6. Which means no roadies, which means we're all wearing quite a few hats. And the cold has been something that I did not foresee being as bad as it is. Because for me, cold is 60, 50 degrees, not 1, not 0. So that's what the tour's been like so far. It's been cold, but a lot of fun. Frank V says, what's the funniest tour story? We're only 5 days in, but we got a really good one today. So our guitar player, we call him the kid. He's not actually a kid. He's maybe only like 6 years younger than I am. But he's the youngest one in the band. And so Shim has been doing a lot of these radios. So when we roll into a town, we drop him off at the radio station. He goes and does promotion for the day while we travel to the venue, load in, sound check. By that point, a runner picks Shim up, brings him to the venue, and then we hit the ground running. And so Pow, this is the name of the guitar player. We decided that. Okay, let me back up. When we do these acoustic things at the radio station, it's acoustic, it's just Shim. And we were toying with the idea of like, hey, let's put together an entire acoustic set and we'll have the whole band go and do radio. And we decided not to do that. It'd be too much work. But we didn't tell Pow that we weren't going to do it. So he's prepping for this acoustic set, and we're telling him the whole entire time, like, oh yeah, we're going to add this song and this song. He's like, I've never heard those. Oh yeah, don't worry about it, dude. It's fine. And, he's like, how long's the set going to be? About 45 minutes, but we only have 10 minutes to rehearse. And then not the next day, he's like, wait, only 10 minutes to rehearse for 45? No, don't worry about it, dude. The songs are easy. You'll get it. I mean, the bridge is totally different, but, here's a chart. Just follow it. He's like, what the fuck? Like, is this is a radio show? No, dude, it's televised. There's gonna be like, I don't know, like 2 million people watching. It's not a big deal. And so there obviously was no show. They're just messing with him and getting him to practice things that he didn't absolutely have to. So that all came to a head because I'm terrible at my poker face, and I couldn't stop from laughing at him. So I ruined it, but that's the best thing that's happened on tour so far. Sir Blue-Footed Booby says, why did I say that like that? That's ridiculous. Jamie, I'm playing in new 90s cover band. I have a cool story about that. What cool jams should I add to the list? Okay, to be honest, here's what I was going to say when I said I had something to say about that. I used to play in a cover band with my brother, DJ Sheridan, and Jason Lewis. I'm sorry, my brother's Jason Lewis and our best friend, DJ Sheridan. And as I'm telling this story, I'm pulling up a podcast that I did with them back right around Thanksgiving. It's my greatest work. So I'm going to drop this in there if you guys want to take a listen. It was freaking hilarious. So I played in this band called Replay, and we would just we were a cover band, and we played, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, doing 3 hours of cover music. And the way that we would do it is, like, initially we took the band seriously and we learned songs, and then after a while it just became an open, would shout anything out, and then we would just start playing that song. Most of the time we butchered it. but at one point in time, we actually practiced and we were learning songs and rehearsing. I know, go figure, right? And it was like we had a gig on Friday, and we decided at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we were like, dude, let's do a whole set of 90s music. That'll be the best. And we were doing like OMC, How Bizarre, Third Eye Blind, whatever. We did the Macarena. We did Closing Time. We just like pulled up all the the Friends theme song, like anything that was in the 90s, and we put a whole set together, and we were so stoked on it. We actually practiced it, and when we pulled it out the gig, we did our first set and everyone was into it. The dance floor was happening. We break into this 90s set, and by the second song we had cleared the entire bar. Everybody left because nobody wanted to hear Backstreet Boys, apparently, or whatever it was. So so a long answer to a very short question. No, I don't have any recommendations for 90s cover songs because it'll probably get you fired. So don't do that. Ben, not incognito. All right, Ben Testman, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually gonna go hang with Ben in a couple of days. He lives in Des Moines. He's been helping me out with a lot of things here at thebassist.net. So, yeah, everybody meet Ben, and thank you for the discretion. Yeah, I'm not so good at that. Sarah says, even though I tried to tell him it was snowing everywhere. I knew it was cold, but I thought that I was going to be able to just stay either on the bus or in the venue or in the hotel. I was just like, I'm not going to be outside at all. I didn't realize that you have to, get your equipment to and from the venues. And even though you're only going, 10 feet, it's 10 feet of hell back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's miserable. I'm legitimately freezing to death. So I've learned my lesson. I went out and bought, a bunch of gloves, hand warmers, pocket warmers, and sweatshirts and thermals and all sorts of things that a California boy has never had before. Let's see. Jeffrey says, I found your channel, YouTube Surfing, and you had Adam Neely on doing some chord things. Just curious to know how long you have been playing. Louisiana, awesome. Hey, thanks, Jeffrey. Yeah, Adam's a rad dude. He and I met at GitCon, which was an event that I did back in October in a city that I dare not pronounce in Germany because I'll just butcher it. But anyways, yeah, he was that was a cool video he did. Show me how to play some chords. How long have I been playing? About since the age of 7. I'm currently 32. 25 years, give or take, on the bass guitar. I've been playing the piano since I was 3. And actually, my parents bought me a drum set before I ever picked up a bass guitar. So technically, I've even been playing drums longer than I play bass, but I do not ever call myself a drummer. Yeah, that's how long I've been playing for. Scotty says, hey brother, if I cannot play by ear now and I go study music, will I still be able to play by ear after I study music and learn to read music, or will I be chained to the music stand forever? You know what, man, this is a really, and the second part of the question says, and never be able to play by ear again. I mean, the answer is definitely no. I understand where you're coming from, because I was there too at one point. I was a self-taught musician. I mean, I took piano lessons from my mom. But when it came to the bass guitar, I didn't have an instructor until the age of 17 or 18 at college. So completely self-taught, and then I got into this music theory thing, studied it, got a degree in it, and I still play. That's still my strong suit. I'll read if I have to, or if the gig calls for it, or I have a lot of different reasons for using music theory as a compositional tool or as a way to learn songs easier. But I absolutely did not. I'm not chained to the music stand, so to speak. The way I look at it is just it's another tool. It's another thing that you can have at your disposal. It's kind of like, I'm sure you've seen videos of a guy named Victor Wooten talking about how music is a lot like a language. And it's like saying, if I learn how to read, does that mean I'll never speak again because I could just read and write the whole time? It's like, well, I don't know. Just because we have text messages, does that mean no one makes phone calls anymore? Or Instagram DMs instead of Facebook DMs? I mean, you kind of see what I'm getting at. These are just different means of communication. So, again, it's a bit of a stretch, but for me, so I'm getting updates on my phone. For me, I would call my wife on the phone, but if I'm overseas, well, I'm going to use Facebook Messenger because then I don't have to pay long distance phone call bill or something like that. It's like we'll use this WhatsApp thing or something else. So that's kind of how I look at music theory and anything else. Here's actually a perfect example. Let's say I'm composing a song, I'm working on a piece or an idea, and I'm going on ear because that's usually how music starts. And then you get writer's block. So what do you do? What do you do when you get writer's block as an author or as anything else? It's like, well, you gotta wait till it goes away or wait till you get that spark again. Or you can just try using a different tool. So I'm using my ear and I'm writing this song. And it's like, oh, these chords sound cool, or here's a cool beat, but I just don't know what to do next. Okay, so let's let the brain kick in and start making some suggestions that my ear isn't picking up on. So for instance, my brain might say, hey, you know what? If we cut off one beat of each measure, now we're in 7 instead of in 4. That might be cool to do the song in 7/8. Or my ear might say, hey, you know what? If we just add one flat, well, we can modulate into a different key. Let's see where that takes us. Or, you know what I mean? I can just start playing with the rules to come up with things that my ear otherwise wasn't going to come up with. And that doesn't mean it's good. That doesn't mean it's the best way to make music. But again, when I get that writer's block, or when you get to a point where my ear is failing me, now I have another tool to push forward and kind of explore some different areas. And then maybe after a while, my ear is going to pick up and go, oh, dang, yeah, I can take that here and here and here. And then I can forget all the rules and the theory and just kind of go on ear again. So, Scotty, I don't know if that helps. I don't know if that answers your question, but I definitely would not be afraid of learning that kind of stuff. I highly recommend it, and there's no way I can do what I do today without knowing how to read, and I'm not chained to the music stand, so I have faith in you. Don't worry about it. Yeah, Backstreet Boys. Oh, you know what? It kills at karaoke, but yeah, maybe not in a 90s tribute band. But you know what? That was also like 10 or 15 years ago, so maybe it's changed. Tom says, I go with an almost straight neck on the Turillo basses. Yeah, that's kind of how I like it too. Correct me if I'm wrong, that kind of gives you the best way to get the action low or lowest. I'm not really sure. Scotty, you're very well, man. Evan says, between your Ignite Musical Theory and Joe Hubbard's books, I feel like my music theory knowledge and capacity to apply it musically has excelled dramatically in the last few weeks. Thanks, dude. Joe's a rad dude. Yeah, he's got great resources. Definitely check him out. I had him on the podcast as well from when we were at NAMM together. Such a rad dude. But yeah, musical training, that's something that I put together. Scotty, I don't know if you've heard of it or seen it, so I'll just drop a link for it for you here. This is I took like the first 2 years of a collegiate music theory and ear training curriculum, and I made a video series out of it. So everything you would want to know about ear training and music theory, you'll find it in Ignite. And it's also, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to make this commercial, but it's also just the applicable stuff. So I left out the boring 200-year-old rules that they would teach you in music school, but you don't really need to know now because we don't use them that way anymore. So anyways, you can check that out if you want. Let's see. Jerome, the bassist D. I like that. That's pretty cool. I'm probably saying it wrong. Why guitarists are a dog and why bassists are a cat? Joke from France, but of course, it's real in fact. Sorry for my English. Hey, dude, your English is substantially better than my French, so kudos to you, man. If you're asking a legitimate question, it seems like it's why are guitar players one way and why are bassists another. And I think honestly our instruments kind of choose us. People ask me why I play the bass, and I look at what the bass does, and I look at my personality, and I think they're the same. The bass is a supportive instrument, not really a flashy, hey, look at me. I just do, hey. But you know what I mean? Like, that's not my personality. I'm not, if you were to meet me for the first time, you won't see the spotlight. You won't see the room revolving around me. You'll see me in the corner, smiling and supporting everyone else. Like, hey, come on. Oh, yeah, so-and-so's over there. Go talk to him. Go have a good time. Like, I don't want to be that kind of person. You know what I mean? And so I look at the bass guitar, and it's kind of that instrument. It's the, like, no. Listen to the drums. Listen to how good they sound right now. Check out that guitar player. Like, the bass is about giving that solid foundation and letting everyone else shine because of it. And that's, my personality. And I've just kind of found that most bass players I've met, and I'll bet several of you, are pretty chill, pretty laid back. Maybe we don't get angry very quickly, pretty mild temper, pretty easy to get along with. I don't know if I'm describing any of you. Like, that's what our instrument is. And I'll bet any of your guitar playing buddies are a little bit different, right? They're a little more intense, maybe, a little more extroverted, a little more look at me. And that's what the guitar does. And especially in rock music, it's that kind of instrument. So, I've always found that our instruments kind of choose us in a sense, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Where did I leave it? Where did I leave off here? Okay, Evan says, in fact, to supplement your answer, I feel my playing by ear has gotten better using the music theory resources. Yeah, Evan, that's true. And Scotty, what he's saying is getting good at one thing will help you with the other. And this is something that a lot of people, I apologize if I sound like I'm selling this music theory thing. But a lot of people think that it's like one versus the other, when really it's one making the other better. So again, to come back to like Victor Wooten talking about music as a language, right? Think about your language. You can speak it and you can hear it, and you can also read it and you can also write it. There's 4 fingers there. Speak, listen, read, write. And doing one helps you with another. You know, no hablo español es muy mal. Right? I just said I don't speak Spanish. It's very bad. I could speak that, not well. And if you said it to me, I would understand it, and I can also read it, and I can also write it. And by doing all those things, I'm really reinforcing my knowledge of the Spanish vocabulary. Same thing with English. I can read it, I can write it, you can speak it to me, I can understand it, I can hear it and spit it back at you. But do that with German, not so well. Do that with another language, you know, I don't have those tricks. But if I wanted to learn a language, I would learn all of them, not just listening to it, not just speaking it, because reading it will help me write it, which will help me hear it, which will help me speak it. It's all cyclical. So that's all I'll say about that. What else we got here? Pascal Gora is also French. Hey, I like France. I've never been there before, but one of these days I'm coming your way, I promise. Ben also likes the audio exercises. Yeah, the way that I designed them, rather than having like an app where it was like a quiz or something, it's just a bunch of audio files that you load onto your MP3 player or your phone. You just kind of listen to them on repeat, and it would give you like a bum, bum. Wait 10 seconds, and it would say major third. And if you got it right, cool. If not, well, keep listening. You know, so that's how I do. That's how I did my ear training when I was in college. Audio flashcards. Blue Tiger says, why are you in Omaha? I'm on tour currently with Shim Moore, formerly of the Sick Puppies. So we did Colorado Springs on Saturday, Denver Sunday or Monday, and then last night we played Omaha. Tomorrow or Friday is Des Moines. I don't know. We're all over the place. I'm going to drop this link in here. If any of you are in the Midwest or the East Coast or the South, go to this website, shimmusic.com, and you can see all the cities we're going to be in. And if we're coming near you, give me a shout out. We're not coming to New York. No, we'll be in Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and not Philadelphia, but the other one. What's the other Pennsylvania city that I would know? Pittsburgh. That's the one. Why did I start talking about that? Oh, yeah. So if you guys are, if you're in any of those areas, send me a message on jamie@thebasis.net. You can email me or Instagram, Twitter, anything else. And yeah, I'll get you on the guest list. We'll hang out. Be a good time. I'd love to see you guys at any of the shows. So yeah, come check it out. I'm going to keep going down here. Deep Sarkar says, recently switched from a fretted to fretless bass. That's awesome. Any suggestions would be great. Could you tell me whether or not you have the frets drawn in? Well, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. I would, if you want to play really good fretless bass, do it with your eyes closed. Because if you're looking at it, it's going to screw you up. That's why I asked if there were lines. I was going to say, I think it's harder to play when the lines are drawn in because you're looking to see if you're in tune. And fretless is all about this. You're constantly listening and always adjusting your pitch at all times. No frets or marks on it. Yeah, so honestly, I think it's easier to play this bass if the bass looks like that, because then you don't have to physically close your eyes because looking at it doesn't really do you any good, other than just making sure you're in the general area. So what I would recommend is I was going to do this as like a course here at thebasis.net for fretless bass playing. So I was going to create a series of exercises that you could play along to. So like have a piano line playing a major scale. Do this on your own. If you have any kind of recording software, just record yourself at a piano on a single note, ba, 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 ba. Just something really simple, but slow. Because on a fretless bass, you don't really need to worry about playing faster. Like your speed's going to be the same regardless of whether there's frets on it or not. But it's the intonation that we're worried about. So take it really slow and just play along with that piano track that you created. and just play that exact scale along with it, and just try to get your notes really, really, really in tune with each of your different fingers. And also a good thing to do, I don't know if you've ever played the double bass before, stand-up bass, upright. It's all about positions. As a bass guitarist, especially like in rock music, like if this is my fingerboard right here, a lot of times if I need to go from fret 3 to fret 5, like I'll just move my whole finger. I'll just move the whole hand up because the line's so easy. I don't need to go, from finger 1 to finger 3. It's just not necessary. On a fretless instrument, it is highly necessary. You need to learn your positions so that when finger 1 is on an F, this one's on an F sharp, this one's on a G, this one's on a G sharp. Not only that you know what the notes are, but you know the spacing and the distance between your fingers and where they are in relation on the neck. So on a fretless instrument, it's really important to play by position. So, chromatic scales are really good. Just go, finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, finger 4 on any string you want, and just play against a chromatic scale, like on a piano, just some sort of exercise. Those types of things will help out dramatically with your fretless playing. Sorry, let me keep going down here. Tom, yes, gotcha. Okay, cool, great. Matt says coming to New York, right? I got that one. Pittsburgh. Lawrence loves the podcast, dude. Thank you so much, man. Did you check out the last one? Or I guess it was from 2 weeks ago with Juan Alderete. Oh my God, that was the best. I freaking love that dude. He was so awesome. If you guys haven't checked out the podcast, please do. It's a lot of fun. I think it's the coolest thing I do. It's just me and a really rad musician or bass player just talking for an hour or 2 hours, however long they'll let me have there. So yeah, definitely go check that out. Hold on, going down. Lawrence says, yes, he was a trip. yeah, he totally is, man. He's great. Pascal says, if I feel like I'm not making progress anymore, what do you suggest? And hi, Bolero. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but hello. Okay, hold on. If I'm not making progress, what do you suggest? Okay. Sometimes I think it's a great idea to look at music as if it were something else, because then it makes more sense. So I'm not an athlete by any means, but I take my health very seriously, and I like to exercise. I exercise a lot, maybe 2.5, 3 hours a day if I can. And one thing that we know in the realm of exercise is your body can plateau. If you're doing the same exercises, if you're doing the same thing, if you're hitting the same routine over and over and over and over again, your muscles need a bit of a knee jerk. They need something to just kind of throw it out of whack and get you to a point where you can continue to grow again. So I think a lot of times when people are feeling this way in their music playing, they've been working the same scale exercise for 5 years, trying to learn the same solo or the same song or the same whatever. You know what I'm talking about? It's like, oh, well, I haven't gotten this down yet, so I better keep working on it. And I don't think it really works that way. I think work on things for the time, that interest you now. And when you kind of hit that plateau, or when you get to a point where it's like, I don't feel like I'm getting better or anything new, cool, set that aside and move on to something totally different. Just throw a wrench in the whole routine. Do things backwards. Instead of doing scales and arpeggios and repertoire, do repertoire then arpeggios and scales, or do different scales and different arpeggios and different songs, different genres, just totally change things up. And that's going to, start to spike things in your ears and in your brain and in your fingers that you weren't using before, obviously, because you're hitting your head against the wall, trying to do it this other way. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but I think that's definitely a good idea. Just try something totally different. Yeah. Let's see. No fret marks on. Okay, hold on. Okay, this one looks interesting. Torture Clown. Pretty awesome name, dude. Says, wife just texted me, sent a list of 5 basses you want for under $700. I'm thinking a Sire 5-string or an Ibanez SR505. What other basses would you suggest? I'm playing an Ibanez 200 with PJ pickups right now. Let me think. In the $700 range, you know what? I've not played the Sire basses, I hear great things. I hear they're fantastic for the money, but I don't have any personal experience on it. And the Ibanez sound gear, I think, are great instruments also for the money. I'd say it just depends on the sound that you're going for. It seems like the Sire is more of a classic Fender sound, whereas the sound gear is a bit more of a modern sound. I would say it just depends on what what sound you're going for, maybe which ones you don't have and what you're trying to go to. I'm a classic Fender enthusiast for the most part. I like P and J style basses. So for $700, maybe you could find a good used made in Japan Fender or something like that. Again, that's probably what I would do with the money. But yeah, if you want something a bit more modern, you're not going to get a Warwick, I don't think, for that price. In which case, yeah, that sound gear would probably do the trick. So I don't know. Sorry, that that doesn't help at all. Let's see. Lawrence says, did you transcribe certain players for your soloing and groove style? Your groove playing on that Christmas EP a few years ago was awesome. Thank you, Lawrence. I really appreciate that. Yes, I transcribe everything, all of it, everything I listen to. I always put it down on paper. So anyone in particular? Yeah, I did a series for years here at my YouTube channel called Sick Licks. And those are all dudes and girls that I would listen to and transcribe everything that they did. Yeah, definitely. Tal Wilkenfeld, Victor Wooten, James Jamerson, Paul Turner, Jaco Pastorius. I mean, any of them. Yeah, I don't know. I would say transcribe everything. That's probably the best. Deep Sarkar says, I've been learning double bass for a year or so. Cool. Yeah. So I don't know. Remember if you were the one asking about the fretless, but yeah. So I would say try to treat it like treat the fretless bass guitar like an upright, and it'll help out a little. Evan says, hey Torture, can't comment on the Ibanez, but I have the 4ST V7. I hope that's not an airplane or something. It kind of sounds like it. And I love it. Plays smooth, sounds awesome, lots of tone with killer preamp. Yeah, I'll bet it does. Yeah, I'd like to get my hands on a Sire bass. Believe it or not, people ask me all the time what I think about it, and I don't have any of it. So I'll have to fix them. Actually, there's probably two questions that I get asked most often. One is, hey, what do you think of the Sire fill in the blank? And the other one is, hey, what do you think about dark glass, this and that? And I've actually... they came in after I left, but there's some dark glass pedals waiting for me at home. So I'll let you know what I think of those as soon as I get to play with them. Let's see. Sir Bluefoot says, have you seen videos on YouTube of the octabass? The lowest note is so low you can't hear the fundamental. I know what you're talking about. No, I haven't seen any videos on it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Brian Copps, hey Brian, get down here, bro. Brian is the drummer that's on tour with us right now, and I'm in the hotel meeting room. Dude, I'm down in the lobby. Go down to the lobby. Got the elevator, and it's the double door, kind of right across from you. Yeah, we're obviously in the same room right now. So Brian, get over here. Jerome says, the Sire have a body that's too heavy and a vintage thin fret. Good for a younger player, not for an old guy. Well, I'm not a young player or an old guy. So neither of those sound appealing to me, but I don't know. I've heard great things, so one of these days I'll get to try one out. Deep, you're very welcome. Torture Clown says, thank you. I'm playing in my church's worship band now after not playing for 10 years, so I'm just looking for something better. Your channel and podcast have been a huge help. Dude, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're getting something out of it. Where was I going with that? Wait, is that the last question? I mean, it totally is. No, wait, hold on. There's one more. No, there isn't. I can't tell because the internet's so slow here. I can see the messages popping up on my phone, and then they come up on the computer screen like 40 seconds later. Albert says, what is your personal practice like? What do you concentrate on? It's hard to balance practicing songs for the band and technical skills. Brian, get down here and help me answer this question. And actually, I'm really interested to hear how he practices too. Okay, sorry. My personal practice routine. I like to mix it up. So it might differ from day to day, but I try to make sure. Okay, think of it like this. Again, I look at things a lot like a workout. Hey, friends. We got two of the boys coming in. We've got Brian, the guitarist. Pull up a seat, guys. Come on.
Hey, sweetie.
We're being friends. Everyone's welcome here. This is Pau over here on this side of me, and this is Brian over here on this side of me. Sarah says, "Hi, guys."
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Dracula.
Yeah.
Hi, Dracula.
Yeah, doggy's home too, I think. Yeah. So welcome to my live stream, guys.
Thank
This
you.
is cool that you get to they can ask you questions in real time.
Yeah. In fact, Bass Players Anonymous says, "Ask Pau about tuna and oatmeal." We want to see him try. Apparently, Pau doesn't like either of those things.
It was just such a pungent smell.
Here, get nice and close. We can make sure the camera
It was
picks it
just
up.
it was just a horrific smell that you don't expect somebody to be eating both of those things.
So yeah, Shim eats cans of tuna, like just straight out of the can. We're sharing a room. My hotel room just reeks of tuna.
Dude, that's
and Pau almost vomited.
I just don't really smell. I love sushi. I eat tuna, but
Because it wasn't, he was eating them at the same time.
yeah, just the notion of those two textures.
That was the hard part.
They're in my mouth, both of them right now. Gross.
Bluefoot wants to know if hats are compulsory for this tour.
Yes, yes, they are.
I would say no one at this table knows what the word compulsory means.
True.
I don't choose to.
If
We're
you can
guessing.
spell it,
We're guessing it means required.
COMPULSOR.
Well, you see, I have a good reason. You see, I have no hair on my head. And this right here is a problem for the camera. You see all the glare? So when I talk and I don't have my hat on, it just, my head turns into a flashlight. Put this thing on, and now I look cool.
now you're a superhero.
Now I'm a superstar.
That's your cape.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is Clark Kent, and then this is Superman.
Does that hat always end up coming off by the end of the set?
Last night it did.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened. This hat's gotten kind of loose. This one's kind of old.
I'm
and
surprised
so,
that they're not strap backs, so you have like the size specifically that would conform right to your head.
one of these days.
Yeah.
One of these days
No,
When the budget gets
when I get my flex fit endorsement,
There you go.
I'll have them make one
Right,
exactly the shape of my head.
A new era.
Yeah. I also have no hair. Hats are a necessity. Yep. You know what's up, dude. Okay, hey, let's all three of us answer this question, all right? And let's try to make it quick.
All right.
Albert said, "What's our personal practice routine like?" He didn't say our. He doesn't really care about you guys.
That's fine.
But I'm bringing you in so that
I appreciate
I don't look as
How
bad.
about you start us off? then?
I'll get it started. So my personal practice routine, I kind of look at it like exercise, right? So if you're gonna lift, you want to make sure you get your back and bicep day, your leg day, your chest and tricep day, maybe a day of cardio where you do a little bit of cardio at the beginning, at the end of your workout. So like at the end of a week, you've done the whole package. You know, instead of just like doing nonstop bicep curls, your arms are super huge, but your legs are twiggy. You look like Brian. You don't want that. So
It happens.
yeah, so what I do, so I kind of look at my practice routines the same thing. Like, so, I want to learn new tricks. So maybe that's new songs or new fills or new licks or something. But I also want to, work on my ears. So I'll make sure I transcribe. I want to work on my reading, maybe composition. That's another thing. Like, we've got these laptops and things that make music, and they have plugins and sounds. And how do I use them? Well, that's the thing I got to practice. I got to work on the technology. So I just kind of look at what are all the things, timing and anything. How can I make sure that I maybe not in a single day, but over the course of a week or 2 weeks, I hit all of those areas, I tick all of those boxes, and then hopefully that's that's good.
One thing you're never done practicing is technique. You've never reached the pinnacle of how you do what you do. So
I mean, maybe if you're a drummer, bass players are a little bit different.
that's true. Maybe bass players can, but
It's not true.
there are just so many ways, especially if you play a lot. Depending on the style too. But there's so many ways you can hurt yourself if you're doing it wrong. So it's worth it to. It's worth it to. There's no excuse nowadays either. You can YouTube. Well, you got to be careful though too. But go find a teacher or find a DVD or something that is just on technique. Like on the surface, it's boring, but it's for drummers. Go get The Secret Weapons to Modern Drumming by Jojo Mayer.
Well, to be honest, like
Even though these are bass players, right?
no. I was gonna say, as a bass player, go buy what book was that?
The Secret Weapons for the Modern Drummer.
As a bass player, go buy that book because like I would learn so much from studying instruments that weren't the bass. So like not to play the bass like it's a trombone, but like trombones play different kind of melodies than we do because their instrument doesn't look like an Excel spreadsheet. They exist in this like other kind of realm. So their melodies are different than ours. Their phrasing is different. Especially as a horn player, you'll never go. They've always got to pause. Because they got to breathe.
They gotta breathe.
Right? Whereas like bass players and guitar players, sometimes I feel like, there's no phrasing in their playing, and it's like, because they're not breathing, they're not thinking like this needs a pause. But a horn player needs a pause, or else he's just gonna die. Right? So that's studying other instruments. I think is a rad thing, and then maybe not play them on the drums, but play them on your bass. Take what that book's trying to teach you, and now you're gonna come up with something totally different.
That's really how you develop your ear too. If you can hear things from not your instrument, then that just creates, you're just able to do so much more and express yourself so much more too.
Then you see things from a bigger picture musically, you know what I mean? Like I think you and I were talking about this earlier, Brian, about like, I'm a guitar player, but now the first thing almost for every song that I ever listen to, it's a new song. The first thing I'm paying attention to is the drum groove and where the kick pattern is.
Because that's the only part that matters, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, like it's the part that provides the forward momentum or the dynamics rhythmically and even in volume and sound. I don't know, to get back to practicing.
What's your routine?
You brought up a really cool analogy which makes such perfect sense. I am the least disciplined person sitting at this table. And when Jamie mentions...
Maybe true.
Definitely true. I'm the least disciplined person I know. When Jamie talks about there's a biceps day and a triceps day, I am the kind of person, I go to the gym and there are certain machines or certain muscle groups that I avoid because it's like, that's really hard, or I hate doing that. I'm always...
Anything that involves your gut.
Clearly.
Any of the sit-up ones.
Yes. And,
like,
but
puke!
Yeah. But what you by default notice is the things that you avoid are the things that you need to get better at so that you can improve. So when I think about, like you said, like, technique or like, I can learn the licks and the riffs and stuff in the songs that interest me, that like I want to learn how to play like this guy or whatever it is. The things that you want to gravitate towards, you'll very happily practice because that's what excites you. But it's the stuff like, talking about like learning how to play different keys or learning your chord relationship, just any of the things that I need to work on personally. It's like, the places where you are deficient are the places that if you weren't deficient in them would elevate you to the next level. Force yourself to do those things.
Sure. Yeah, and I think also like, again, talking about it like as if it were weight training or exercising. Like if you go to the gym, if you've spent money for a gym membership and you're showing up week after week, and every time you leave, you don't smell,
right,
and you're not sweaty, like what are you doing?
Why are you going?
Yeah, you're wasting your money. Whatever you're doing at the gym, it's not working, because the point of going to the gym and working out is to break that sweat and to feel it afterwards. That's when you lay in bed at night and your body's just screaming at you, like, okay, I mean, as long as you're not didn't injure yourself, you know what I mean? Like, good scrape. Like for the most part, it's like, okay, that was me pushing myself. And so I think the musical equivalent of that, this comes from Anthony Wellington. He's Victor Wooten's bass player. And he would say, when you practice, like truly, if you're practicing and at the end of it, you go, man, I suck.
Then you're practicing.
Yeah, you practiced. Right? Because if you finish your practice session, you're like, man,
I'm killing it right now.
Yeah, if you're like, man, that sounded great.
Really learn?
Yeah, you didn't practice. You rehearsed.
Yeah.
You got better at something you're already good at, which is important to an extent. Like we're on tour right now. We want every single night to be good, the same amount of good at least. So like there's a time and a place for rehearsal, but practice is different. You should finish your practice routine going, man, do I want to keep doing this? And then use that to fuel tomorrow to get better. Maybe not that bad. Don't get depressed over it. Oh man, okay, we missed a whole bunch of questions here. Oh, and by the way, Pau is the one who thought that there was he thought that there was a show tomorrow.
Oh man,
I wanted to show up for the team. That's what it is.
Well, here's the thing. The best part. the best part of it is like I could not contain myself. I was literally
You were-
turning my
Did you
face
tell
like
him like
this
the
away
detail,
from the.
like Mariah Carey and the whole thing?
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, we were just shooting the shit and messing with them. But at the end, Shim's talking about like, you know, what was he saying? He was saying that, like,
He said that's the
rehearsals
most
for-
important
it's like,
part of
honestly,
the
guys,
tour.
the most important part about
Yeah.
this whole entire tour is the acoustic set tomorrow.
He's
So
like,
we
we have
have-
a radio spot. There's going to be 2 million listeners. We have a 20-minute rehearsal for a 45
It's like,
minute set.
you know, and he's like, when it comes to playing, you know, songs on electric anyways, like, they're just not as good because there's all that noise. And everything. It's all about the acoustic arrangements.
And I was just like so into the Kool-Aid. I'm like, yeah.
But
Okay,
Yeah, let's do it.
But
Hey,
Paul-
pick and roll defense. All right, I got it.
In Paul's defense, he was down. He didn't flinch. He's
Oh,
like,
not
okay,
once,
Let's
not
make
once,
it happen.
not once.
Let's make it happen.
The best was the 20-minute rehearsal for a 45 minutes.
Your rehearsal is shorter than your set.
Well, and then he was like, Jamie, remember when I went to your house and recorded those covers, that Mariah Carey thing? I'm like,
Yeah.
Mariah Carey? Okay.
Yeah, good times.
Oh gosh.
All right, sorry. I'm gonna keep going down
We're
these
off the rails
questions.
here.
Yeah, we're all sleep deprived and we're exhausted. Talking about my dog. That's cool. What's the point of paradiddles? No, there really
I
isn't
just
one.
asked Brian this question like last night.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Brian. What's the point? Did I sound like Jerry Seinfeld when I said?
What's the
What's
point?
the point?
What's the
Oh,
point of paradiddles?
that was very scientific.
Paradiddles.
Basically,
Stroke rolls. Ah.
Bum, 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 bum.
Thank you. Guys.
All right, take it away.
I mean, paradiddles are wax on, wax off. They're really, when you're playing the drums, you're getting used to moving. So a paradiddle is just a great way. It's a very symmetrical movement, right, left. For people that don't know, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. It's a very symmetrical pattern that you can play on a snare. You can put your right hand on a tom. You know what I mean? You can orchestrate it however you want. But it's really just getting used to a movement that switches every time. So it's kind of like stirring the pot. And I'm trying to think of an analogy for it that would work, but it's a simple concept. It's a simple principle. It's just when I'm playing a drum fill, I'm not thinking paradiddle, paradiddle, paradiddle. It's just I have access to, okay, I can switch gears and lead with my left hand for a little bit. And now I can switch gears and lead with my right hand because I've worked on paradiddles. So they just allow you to kind of switch gears when you need to.
And the same thing as a bass player, I studied drum rudiments all the time.
Really?
Like I would, yeah. So like a paradiddle is this ruining the table? Yeah, probably. So like right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. And as a bass player, you can do a really cool thing where like you finger tap a note, right? So you could grab like a G with your left finger, and then with your right hand, you could tap like a F and a B flat. So you got like a G minor 7 chord happen. So you get boom, bop, boom, boom, bop, boom, bop, bop, boom, bop, boom, boom, bop, boom, bop, bop. I know it makes no sense because there's no bass in my hands. But essentially,
I get it.
yeah, you just take like your right hand, your left hand, and
Victor Van
then
Halen.
then apply it to the fingerboard, and you come up with some pretty interesting
One
stuff.
of my favorites that we did together, I just had this drum pattern that I sent to Jamie, and then we did a video on it.
I'm finding it right now.
And it was like groups of 3 and 5 against each other. And Jamie did that. And then he switched it. So it was like 3 in the right.
Stacked ostinatos.
Yes.
Yeah, check
that's the
that video out. Yeah, so this is a video that Brian and I did together. So he's playing 2, 3, 4, and 5 at the same time. 4 different time signatures. Because he's got 4 different limbs to play with: the right hand, a left hand, a right foot, and a left foot. And as a bass player, I can only do 2 of those at once because I've got the 2 hands. So yeah, that was something that we did.
That was fun.
Yeah, good times. Good
That was
times were
good
had by everybody. Let's just keep looking down. Jeff, well, honestly, you think that's only his business. Paradiddles, building muscle memory. Hey, yo. Saludos, Venezuela. I already said mi español es muy, muy mal. No,
Muy mal.
no bueno.
Muy,
But
muy
thank you
mal.
for joining us. I've never been to Venezuela.
Yes.
One of these days I will. Tall guy said, who are these guys that are there with me? This is Brian Kops.
How's it going?
I don't hear you guys clapping. Good job. And this is Pow PM. These guys are on tour with me at the moment. Actually, we are on tour with Shim Moore, formerly of Sick Puppies. But yeah, so we're out on the road right now hanging.
Having a blast, too.
It's been so
It's
much
been a good
fun.
tour. We're only 3 shows in, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, 3
don't know how much
shows
you-
in 5 days, 6 days. Wait, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so 6 days in.
I don't know how much you touched on last night, but we had a really special show last night. It was
We did, yeah. We were in Omaha, Nebraska, and yeah, it's probably the best night of the tour so far. And we're afraid it's also going to be the best night of the tour, given that we have another 3.5 weeks to go. So
It's early,
yeah, we're kind of hoping that the best days aren't behind
This
us.
may be a high school quarterback situation. We'll see.
Drummer and guitarist. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, we've got claps
Hey,
from Sarah
Thank
and
you,
from
Sarah.
Albert.
Yes,
Yes.
Sarah.
thank you, Albert.
Yes, tall guy. Yes, I am married. No kids. No yet. Not yet. That's not a thing. We do have a dog though. His name's Dracula. Actually, there is
Ears are so wide.
Shout out to Dracula.
there is an Instagram account for my dog, and
Is it really?
There is. I'm sharing it with y'all. He has 596 followers. Go check him out. Good boy Dracula. He's got his first sponsor as well. Did I tell you guys that?
No.
Yeah, Dracula's got a sponsor now. Sarah, who is it?
I can't. Okay. Save it.
Link in his Instagram. My dog has a sponsorship. I thought I was baller. My dog is on a whole nother level.
That is amazing.
They're bow ties.
Yeah. He's got a bow tie sponsorship. That's what it is. Yeah. What kind of dog is he? Click on that link. You can check him out. But he's a German Shepherd boxer. So he looks mostly German Shepherd, and he's got the boxer jowls. Knox dog wear. He just got his call. Knox, yeah. Yeah. So that's Dracula. Good. My dog.
You
Share
never
me-
answered my question.
What was your question?
Which wild animal would you want to be eaten by?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, so we'll end.
This is game time.
Yeah, we'll end it with this. So this is. Here's the backstory. We finished our set last night. We're waiting to load up because loading in the snow is a bitch, and so we're just dreading it. And who did the song? Who did "Love Me, Love Me"?
So, oh no, it's on the
Semi-pro.
jukebox.
It was on the jukebox, but who is
It
it?
was in a semi-pro, right?
Yeah, but like who did the song? Love me, love
Cranberries?
me. It wasn't Cranberries. That's what I thought it was. That's what I was gonna say. It totally wasn't.
Oh yeah, everyone thinks it's the Cranberries.
Yeah, it's not Cranberries. I have Google. Who
Came out when I was in kindergarten.
wrote "Love Me, Love Me"? Actually, I don't even know if that's what the.
Say that you love me.
It's not. It's
No.
it's something heart or like something pretender.
Hold on, Christine McVie. No.
No.
It's gonna drive me nuts.
All right.
Cardigans. It's the Cardigans. That's who wrote it.
Nice.
Okay,
I
so
would've not
anyways,
gotten
What's
that.
the name of the song? It's not "Love Me, Love Me."
Anyways, that's the song that was on. So I'm getting notifications. So that's the song that was on as we were, just hanging out at the bar. And I started laughing because Brian's standing right next to me. And I started telling the story how when I was in high school, I had this friend who's now a pediatrician. He's a doctor. Right? That's how smart this guy is. But at the time, he was a moron. And he was in his room, like iTunes had just come out. We were just at the point where we could listen to music on our computers without using Napster or whatever. And so, I don't know, he's hanging out in his room, we're playing video games or something, and he's eating, and he starts choking. And he tries doing the Heimlich, he tries getting himself to throw it up, like, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds into it, a minute or something like that, and he realizes that he's going to die. He didn't die. He's telling me this story at some point in the future, so don't worry. But he starts telling me that, like, I realized I was just gonna die, so I scrambled to my laptop and I opened up iTunes and I picked the song that I wanted to die to, which was
Wow.
"Love Me, Love Me," Say That You Love
By
Me
the Cardigans.
by the Cardigans.
Wow.
And so I've shared this story with quite a few prolific thinkers, people that I really admire and respect, because this was the song that Mike wanted to die to.
Yeah.
What song would you want to die to?
Something
Right?
to think
If
about.
you knew that you were choking, what he ended up doing, he was like, oh, I could just swallow it. So I just swallowed the food.
Crisis averted.
Well,
Yeah, totally made it out of that one. But homie had his soundtrack to his death picked out, his Requiem. So, Pow and Brian,
Cool.
if you could pick the soundtrack to your dying moment, what song would it be? Now, for me, I think it's the final movement of Pictures at an Exhibition, the Ravel orchestration of a Mussorgsky composition. I know that sounds super nerdy, but go check it out. I'll drop a Pictures at an Exhibition.
Type slower so I can think.
Not the Mussorgsky, the Ravel. I'm literally just gonna drop something in here that I've never listened to before, but it's probably close enough.
Close.
I typed in the thing on the Google, and this is what it said. But yeah, this
On
is
the Google?
yeah.
The Google.
This is this is I think one of the most beautiful compositions of all time. So let's see what some of you said.
Oh, dude, I saw closing time in there. That's great.
Yep. I saw a closing time.
That's good.
Summertime, Ella Fitzgerald.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's good.
Oh, see, now I'm thinking about
Cake's cover of "I Will Survive." Cake, anything I would take. I got to decline this phone call from Bill. Favorite bass line? Yeah, "I Will Survive." Yeah, that's a good one. Another one by. You know what I heard actually? I don't know.
That's really good.
I don't know who told me this. I think I heard it in a stand-up, but they were talking about like the best last words, like your final words. What's the best thing you could say to someone on your deathbed? Tag, you're it. Right? Because they'll never tag you
'Cause
back.
they can't get you
'Cause
back.
It's game over. It's game over.
That's
You
it.
won. You won tag forever. And
So
ever
that's
and ever.
how you go out.
Yeah. But the soundtrack. So again, that's mine. You guys shared some of yours. Boys?
I have two that I'm trying to decide on. I think I'd go Adagio for Strings by Samuel Barber.
And this is actually where our conversation kind of divulged to, because it was like, well, we both went orchestral. They're like big, powerful, like I'm getting eaten by an animal for that song. But if I was like in a car crash, I feel like maybe it would have to be a dashboard song.
Like a Limp Bizkit song?
I feel like if I was in a house fire, I would want to die to a Limp Bizkit song.
Yeah.
Break stuff.
House fires break stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're burning your house.
Break stuff for sure. So the manner in which you meet your demise
That's
would also
true.
depend. So maybe Mike would have had a different answer if he wasn't choking. Maybe it would have
Yeah.
been a different Cardigans song.
I get the Cardigans though. If I'm choking, I think Cardigans.
If only for the questions that it raises for everybody afterwards. It's like, all right, forensics. He was listening to the Cardigans.
It was on repeat. We didn't find a
point A and
suicide
point C,
note.
but we can't find the B.
Pal, what do you think?
My knee-jerk reaction was Nina Simone's "Feeling Good," the original version, and nobody has done that song justice since. But I love her original version. It's so haunting but like soulful and beautiful at the same time.
Sarah just said it would be "Life's a Happy Song" from the Muppet movie.
Aw.
We've got everything that we need and to ride. It's the one with Jason Segel. Life's a happy song when there's someone by your side to sing along.
Wow. That's a good one to go out
Yeah,
on,
Muppet
too.
movie. Good job, Sarah.
Yeah. Nice, Sarah. Very nice.
Guns N' Roses, "You Could Be Mine" from the Terminator 2 soundtrack.
Which one's that?
Pal, you should have been a drummer, man.
You missed your calling, bro. Yeah, it could have been worse. All right, I guess we should wrap this
This
thing
is
up.
really falling off the rails here, huh?
Yeah. Why did I invite you
Sorry
guys?
for-
You made it all worse.
You invited us.
Turning
This
it
is
into
your
a
fault.
tornado, yeah.
No, it's okay. Hey, thanks again to GHS. I know it's totally backwards. SHG.
Skrinitz against that's
It probably flips it around in the stream. So
I think it
doesn't look
was,
weird. Yeah. Anyways, thanks to GHS for making this possible. And speaking of which, I'm going to give away one of these cool GHS T-shirts. Obviously, not the one that I'm wearing, unless you want it. That's kind of weird.
That's
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to ask, let's see. Which question should I go with?
the last one, because
The-
I know the answer to that question.
No, you can't answer it.
I don't want to answer it.
Okay.
I'm in the know. So.
Okay, so for one GHS T-shirt, the question is, who was the last guest to appear on the Bassist podcast? Drum roll. See, this is where it would be good to have some samples.
Oh
Drum
yeah.
roll going on right
You
here.
could put a little production into this part of the show.
Ben, you're not allowed to answer. Actually, you totally could if you want to, I guess. since you know.
Why isn't he allowed to answer?
Because he's anonymous, and you can't send a T-shirt to an anonymous address. I tried once. He's actually in Anonymous. The guys who wear the Guy Fawkes masks. he's
the guy that plays
He's
bass.
the bass player of Anonymous.
Yes,
Okay.
clearly.
Yeah.
Is that his? Okay.
He goes around hacking social security numbers and
Wow.
you know.
Listen to Marcus Miller.
He's like the James Bond of Anonymous.
Are they looking it up?
Oh yeah, by the way, if you don't know the answer, you can just go to thebasis.net and look up who the last guest was. Yes, is my cousin, but that's not a good enough answer. I know this is off topic. We remember Greg Alexander. I don't know who that is. Albert, it was not Steve Bailey. He was on the podcast, but he wasn't the last guest to have on the show. The answer is Christopher Leslie.
That's my boy.
Nice.
That's my cousin. He covered for me with these guys. Actually, no, not you.
Just me.
Not Brian. Just Pal. When I went to Germany last year, Chris filled in for me. Anyways, yes. So, dude, send me your address. I'll get you one of these threads. Singer and songwriter of New Radicals. Yes, that's who's on my podcast. No, but I understand you're saying that's who I look like because he's also bald. He's also really cool. Anyways, okay, well, I'm going to give away one more thing, and this one has to do with the last video that just went live here on my YouTube channel. If you get this one correct, I'll give you a free month, an entire month at thebasis.net. Won't cost you a dime, because Brian's going to pay for it. So the question is this.
I'm being a friend.
I just posted a video on YouTube about in-ears with which other bassist? I'll tell you what band he's from. He's in Job for a Cowboy. He's also in Havoc and Cephalic Carnage. If you can't tell, he plays a lot of metal.
Those are metal bands?
Yeah.
Job for a Cowboy.
What were you saying yesterday about medical conditions?
Albert, yes, the answer is Nick Shingelis. You did not even come close to spelling his name right. But since he has such a hard name to pronounce, I'm going to give it to you.
Give you a pass.
So Albert just sent me an email to, I'm typing it in right now, jamie@thebasis.net. Just send me your email address and I'll get you hooked up, dude. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I got for today. I'm going to do another one of these live streams from the road probably like 2 weeks from now. There'll be a lot more craziness. And I'm also going to do quite a few videos from the road. Probably the next venue, I'll do like a rig rundown video. I got some cameramen here to help me out, so I'll walk.
pros.
Yeah, these guys are
gonna
the
be
best.
good.
Yeah. So I'll do some videos, showing you what gear I'm using and how I'm using it and that kind of stuff. And if you have any requests, send them my way, jamie@thebasis.net, or shoot me a message on social medias or whatever we got. And Brian and Pal, thank you so much for joining us
Thanks
today.
for having us.
Cool. Guys, take care, and I'll see you next
y'all.
time.